August, he is running for a sixth term in office. Infamously dubbed Europe's last dictator, Lukashenko does not go easy on his critics. Political opposition is virtually non-existent. Independent journalism was quashed years ago. That's why Nexta currently lives in Poland, beyond the reach of a president known to silence journalists and their sources.
During Lukashenko's 26 years in power, we have only had TV channels that broadcast the official state ideology. Bloggers are thriving as a result.
То, что нельзя заблокировать и запретить. Поток свежей и эксклюзивной информации.
Firstly, because anonymous sources, many of whom are government insiders, state officials, who have information that they cannot discuss publicly, are much more willing to pass information to bloggers than to traditional journalists.
Позже власти решили не рисковать и не усложнять, понимая, что пуля в затылок надежнее. Нет тела, нет дела.
Secondly, bloggers feel more free than traditional journalists because the authorities can't touch YouTube or Telegram channels. They can't block their accounts, and they have no way to stop the flow of information. That's why the authorities consider them so dangerous.
Next has become popular because he publishes previously undisclosed information on his YouTube and Telegram channels. This information usually comes from leaks and isn't covered by mainstream media. But there are pros and cons to this. Sometimes false information is sent under the pretense of legitimate news, so you have to be very careful. You can't always trust what these bloggers publish, as the information is not always verified. As citizen reporters, bloggers don't adhere to the same standards or ethics as traditional journalists, regardless of whether there is censorship in the country or not.
Действительно, существует такая проблема, как фейковая информация. Ее могут направлять.
Fake news is a problem. Sometimes it is even sent by the authorities themselves in order to discredit our channels. However, we do check all our information thoroughly, using our large network of sources in various institutions and ministries. Thanks to this, the information on our channels, more than 90% of it, is confirmed and verified.
Подтверждается, проверяется.
Recently, Nexta has focused on the Belarusian government's handling of COVID-19. And it hasn't come out well.
Несколько медиков уже умерло. Достоверно известно о летальных случаях в Витебске и Борисове. Точное количество погибших Минздрав скрывает.
Belarus currently has more than 55,000 confirmed cases, but only a few hundred officially reported deaths. That's a death rate of about 0.5%, suspiciously low when compared to other countries around the world. Downplaying the risks of the virus, Lukashenko has ignored calls for lockdown measures, suggesting vodka or sauna treatments instead.
Меня? Ну а зачем? Можно, но зачем? Я не понимаю. Здесь нет вирусов никаких.
But as infection rates keep rising, so too does the disgruntlement over the president's approach and the deteriorating economy.
Это реальные новости Беларуси. Здравствуйте. Мы постоянно ездим по стране на автодоме, и поэтому у нас нет собственной студии в каждом из областных городов. Зато мы показываем реальные новости, которых нет в государственных СМИ.
Sergei Tsikhanovsky has been crossing the country for his YouTube channel A Country for Life, handing over his mic to ordinary Belarusians.
Почему эта беда пришла в Беларусь? Потому что наш президент не закрыл границы.
With the election coming, Tsikhanovsky's videos are attracting viewers on the web and supporters on the streets.
Возможно, надо уже жителям Светлогорска проснуться и проконтролировать, чтобы их голос не украли на этих президентских выборах, как его воруют все последние годы.
Люди от этого, конечно, очень сильно устали.
People are tired of Lukashenko's regime, so they are joining protest movements. And at the moment, the most vibrant, active movement is around Sergei Tikhanovsky. Most of his subscribers are people who used to be apolitical. Some are even supporters of the current government. But as their feelings of powerlessness have increased, they have started moving to the opposite camp. These bloggers' videos have galvanized people, inspiring political action, which has obviously irritated the authorities and led to various acts of repression.
The main way they're going after Tikhonovsky is through administrative arrests, arresting him, his supporters, and those who appeared on his videos, anyone who expressed their opinions on his YouTube channel. The authorities have come to understand that blogs like Tikhonovsky's Country for Life or Stepan Svetlu's Nexta don't just spread information, but the bloggers themselves are becoming the center of attention. And they can actually influence politics, not just talk about it.
The government's pressure doesn't seem to have deterred Tikhonovsky. If anything, it has invigorated him.
Я, Сергей Тихановский, белорусский предприниматель и блогер, заявляю о своем намерении участвовать в президентской кампании в качестве кандидата в президенты.
In early May, he announced his own bid for the presidency, on, he says, his subscribers' request. It didn't go down well with the authorities. Before he could file his candidacy, he was thrown in jail, and he has been in and out ever since. His repeated arrests have only stoked the fire. His wife, who has no previous political experience, has taken his place on the ballot, and she is quickly rising in the polls.
Lukashenko is very annoyed with the actions of bloggers. We have become opinion leaders, but don't have any ties to the state, so he's trying to silence us in every possible way. People are being fined, arrested, you name it. Lukashenko has called the upcoming election an examination of power. But he has already failed that test on health, culture, sports, not to mention the economy. And now, all he has left is the repressive machine, the security forces and the police. He will hold on to his power till the very end, resorting to any means possible to do so. But it is our desire to change the country for the better. This is what gives us strength, energy, and a desire to continue our work.
And finally, all those protests against racial injustice have triggered discussions in real life and online, forcing people to consider things in ways they hadn't before. Such as the notion that not being racist is not good enough anymore. Real change means being something different. It means being anti-racist. When you boil the following video down, that's the message. That turning a blind eye, letting racism go unchallenged, simply contributes to the problem. It was that idea that New Zealand's Human Rights Commission wanted to get out there through a clever, subtle campaign that started a few years back, and a video that actually feels more relevant today than when it first went online. We'll see you next time here at The Listening Post.
Racism needs your help to survive. You may not be in a position to give much to racism, but whatever you feel comfortable giving will make a huge difference. You don't have to be a full-on racist. Just being a tiny bit racist is enough. Frequently asked questions about racism. But I'm not a real racist. Can I still help? Of course. Even if you don't come from a racist background, that's okay. Being a bit racist is super easy. How do I show my support? You might not want to wear a t-shirt that says how much of a racist you are. No thanks. I'm racist on the inside. But you can laugh at racist comments. It does the same thing. If I only give a little bit, will it even make a difference? Not to you, no. But to the people receiving the racism, they'll be getting hundreds of small bits every day, so it will add up. It will be noticed. Remember, the only thing that can keep racism alive and help it grow is feeding it, nurturing it. And that's where you come in. Will you help it flourish?
As protests rage over police brutality and coronavirus grips the nation, campaigning on the election trail has been forced to take a back seat. Will the presidential candidates ever hit the road and sell their brand of politics to Americans before the vote? Follow the US elections on Al Jazeera.
London, these are the top stories on Al Jazeera. Supporters are arriving in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where U.S. President Donald Trump will hold his first public rally since the coronavirus crisis began. The rally follows weeks of anti-racism protests across the U.S. and is being held in the same city as the 1921 race massacre. There are also concerns the indoor event could contribute towards a surge of infections in the state. Jay Gray is in Tulsa for the rally, where there has already been a health scare.
6 members of the president's advance team did test positive. The campaign says that's out of more than 100 tests given to those who are working this event. They were immediately quarantined according to the Trump campaign and contact trace. So those that were around them have been removed from the mix as well. None will be in the arena tonight when the event takes place. Take a look behind me. This is the BOK Center where the event's going to take place, and lines already gathering. We're more than 5 hours away from the president being on the stage here, and already you've got people lined up. And in fact, we've seen a handful of people camping out on the streets here in downtown Tulsa for a full week ahead of this rally. A lot of people very excited to see the president here. And when you talk to those supporters, as you mentioned, they're going to have hand sanitizing stations inside the arena here. They're going to have face masks that are being given out to everyone. Most will tell you they don't plan to wear those face masks, that they're not concerned about the virus. It is the city, though, and officials in the city that are extremely concerned, worried about people coming in from different areas of the country and areas that may be heavily influenced by the virus right now, and worried about what's going to be the lasting effect of this event at a time when they really can't afford to see more of the virus introduced to this community.
A tell-all memoir by the former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton will be released next week after a court refused the request by the White House to block its publication. The Trump administration had argued the room where it happened contained classified information and had not gone through the necessary clearances. The judge said it was too late to block the release, but said Bolton had likely jeopardized national security. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has ordered his army to be ready to carry out missions abroad, including in war-torn Libya. He also warned Turkish-backed GNA forces against attacking the strategic city of Sirte, saying that would